Hwefo a team for me moache Samoa ha kwaba eduba daily update TV so daily update the just 24/7 ye adwuma do so hwefo ne tifo che de bia na weekend just ginama ye bo adwuma den na just boja ye na ya problem ene ye research mu no yensa akoka video bi na video ni akopi mu no mahama wa kwa review eye Bolgatanga eye Upper East na okopie mu ho no abusua enye easy kra anu ohie mahama akopie mu Bolgatanga enye easy kra o abusua yakoye video no enyina nche campaign a start na we ni padoma on how so the moto we ni padoma di moto chese floaty efekwa na chese we kira say the victory of mahama no is coming again pa je video no na video no a very nice video I was said for never the love people have for JM the love a man for woman JM no I was say showcase maybe I saying say the victory of mahama no will surely come again you way a Bolgatanga tour and other copying campaign or the Oromo northern region a year 3 northern region or the copying of Bolgatanga east precisely a year Bolgatanga hinkru now any padoma appear. This tells you the victory of mahama is actually and really coming again. Video no surprise be more pa maybe ka surprise na once much this is the first and foremost no video no and the action on ground, the love, the massive celebration they lay like omode showcase and so omode na the chair mahama na bra obepie mu Upper East Bolgatanga no na just odo na just ohwe okopie mu enra anajo ana okopie mu ba ohwe odo a omoda na dia o man na. It is very, very, very interesting. God bless you. Surprise names more surprise be a year Zenato Rollins and American Zenato Rollins what can say be Zenato a year Rollins a bar when it comes to politics a year Zenato winning deeper Zenato I can't say be about the corruptions, the government, their misconduct, their attitude or Zenato Rollins waka ensem ba akum yinu bi mensa mo men ye bezumi in straight ni akote Zenato Rollins MP or MP na shembedu ani ma akwa yeze kwale kulote I stand to be corrected ebusuan there's ensem a waka no there's yentimi emfansa ho enkoba bia this ye be so meti for nerefo enti yengo yezumi in straight to the audio no enti Zenato Rollins ensem na all can for this government ho ebeje unsem ye pa enti ngoti sansem no and some rice here.
put a stop to the bad governance or the things that have been done that are not in favor of Ghanaians. No, we should reverse them now. The president cannot act on his own.
That's right.
Bibia obeyeno e was so odefa parliament. So what I say. Na say oni nkrofo e wo parliament ene ne ya adwen ba ako a. De oyeno oyekwa. So we say ampasa o pese NDC ba ebetina akonwa Kesi no so. Na se won ye adwuma emma ye nya sa majority e wo parliament man. Na chere se wo pese ye bebregu. And with what is happening no, there be aye do no, wo hwe nyama akosu pi no. We need to send a strong message that enough is enough. But beyond that, no, it's not just about winning the election. It's about what you do in the aftermath of the election. Oh, election, no, and no, na debi idea dede. Sebi, it's very important. And no, NMA government be by power. But beyond that, if you don't have that political will, number one, now when yasa 2 minutes our parliament more, which means that you will come and you will let people down. And I'm always really harping on it. Direct link between what you have in parliament and what's happening in the executive, because our system no na yedi edwuma.
And by drumming home sir message, you know, do you get a sense of appreciation? I mean, based on the number of days I've been saying consensus, we can't say I'm not for here. The relevance of having the numbers.
Me wajidi because says so okay bibi na one church mu say wenti and I was say yes yeah. Sometimes people don't appreciate the value of it because sometimes parliament no yen na debia tim did you know say but the work that happens in parliament on the blind side of the public I just a committee adwuma na ekoso no committee work na cameras no NC so into nobody actually knows the amount of work that's happening there, so all you see is parts of the debates that happen on the floor.
True.
Just as no as the only thing or parliament ma, you might assume say but the system of democracy that we are running includes a very, very dynamic and very active parliamentary legislative arm. I believe said repeating it is bringing more people's attention to the fact say if we really want our democracy to work effectively for us, then we must empower the arms of government. But I believe say Samisha said President Mahama all corner rounds with regards to what is going to be done when it comes to corruption. I'm happy about that because you see, baby, near the levels of corruption we can't continue pretending that it is normal and it is okay. It is not. Because if you want to draw the direct line or the between corruption and what is happening, for example, say ABR, it was say procurement be also a hospital be ye better to enroll Emma Wanama eba ho whatever the medications may be. Na se obia fa adwen say ono sika na ye de aba se onfan to se edru no onto obe divert e de akostoke ono anim pharmacy. It is a patients be ba hospital ho na omohwehwe nru the hospital pharmacy itself, which should have all of those medications, no, doesn't have it. Now you're directing Akroma say, oh, pharmacy where I want chain hey. So that medication was procured specifically for the hospital. Na se nipa krono eni sika obetimi akoto sa adro was sa pharmacy na any hospital na obi adiveti sika na akọ na. What that means is someone could die as a result of that. That is a direct link between corruption and your life. Inti abato na ye kono. It is an indication of where we've reached. We must understand that there is no invisible link between corruption and our well-being, corruption and our economy, corruption and our stability. It is directly linked. And sometimes the impression and they say, oh, now media mentor and say me who and whom for to me directly. But if you understand that corruption is linked to your well-being, in my case, I would defend my party. NDC Abaya, we say we're going to deal with this. that has a direct impact on you. It will have an impact on your fuel prices, on your food prices, on your NHIS card, whether it works or not, whether a draw a pharmacy, a hospital, government hospital, and not somewhere else, for example, whether you have the correct equipment being procured, whether the roads are being built properly, whether the road tolls, sikana yetia for road tolls, whether it's actually going to repair roads or whether it's being diverted to somewhere else. All of these things affect you. It is all because the number of accidents has increased because the roads are bad. You have a roads and highways ministry. You have road tolls in place, for example. And all of these are to ensure, say, you have maintenance of that roads. Poor maintenance of the roads because of somebody's corruption will cost you your life because all you are trying to do is get from one place to the other.
But in the case of recklessness, in this case, road tolls, everywhere. Even the number of years says you can account for no. And then I'll bet you far back to us.
Which is exactly why I keep emphasizing on the fact that we have to have that majority in parliament. Because and unfortunately, it looks as though more and more, a lot of things that are happening, for example, in parliament, government party, essay, MPs, so sometimes, there are times when, so for example, let's go back into recent history, this issue with the past finance minister.
That's right,
yes, there was a group of members of parliament, MPP before, they were saying, I was so or resign. And now, yes, a president also you need. I think we saw what happened after the censure motion. Chamber was in favor of the motion. Say indeed he should resign or should be impeached. Suddenly, one of Macrapa a year press conference, Eddie Kain, a cancer papa non resign. Exactly. Knowing so, the point is, if we are now creating a system where even when the thing is not right, because party say you should align and do that, then we have a problem. It means that we are not protecting the public. We are not representing them properly.
Because I've seen a couple of times when Mumu I have dissenting views as against party position. And then the money as I will thrive over MPP was against.
Well, I can't speak for what happens there except for what we all witnessed. But I certainly believe, said on issues with regards to good governance. Once our party is in power, we will not sit down to be because it will affect all of us. And we all came there with the intention, say, and not to do something simply in party interest. And see, that has been the narrative for this election, because we need to reach that point in our politics where campaign, it has to stop. We've seen where lies have gotten us. That's why we're here today. Inti say your campaign. Not once we're in power, we are making sure we're staying on the straight and narrow, and we are not closing our ears. Now I can say, we are in power now. Inti fire. That is the wrong attitude, because now Ghanaians are also more discerning. Now, say, well, politics and democracy in Tisana. You see, we need to stop the overemphasis on elections as the only benchmark of good governance or of a democracy that is very genuine and thriving.
I didn't know.
Because then elections are rigged all over. Does that mean that you are doing the right thing? You get into power through elections to do what is right. Inti sa wunya sa power no na sa obetina akunya no so na wonye wedwuma no, then you're actually letting the people down. It's a betrayal of trust. And this is a contractor as a party. NDC, which way it says unity, stability and development. And why? Those are key pillars to good governance, which means that we must be living by those particular principles and the principles of good governance in general. Inti, we cannot afford to betray that. na yenuma ebia sebio me papa nyankopon afrɛ no it would be very strange for me to move away from certain principles. Both my parents raised me in a certain way. Say no kreno yakrapo also to but ebia you have to find a gentle way of saying it, but you must be able to speak the truth, because as a representative of the people, no, so want to mean kano kra, then why are you there?
Ghana no krani idea. What is the truth about my Ghana tibia you wom and the baby was here? No krani idea.
We're too far behind. In fact, it looks as if we've done fast rewind in our development, in our positioning. Na nyamiya aduminti, and now we are the last man standing, so to speak. So already also all around Africa. You should realize that we really are very blessed and we are very fortunate. And my enfana say automatically no, that is the way to always be. We must understand that the people of Ghana have chosen to be tolerant, because Omar Fadrin say, okay, elections no in a few months no call elections into the empeno yeah the battle no a betche and a position on issues. But once that happens, we should not take for granted say we've been brought into power. We must do what is right. Now I believe say if we can do what is right, first of all, to stop this trend of over monetization of politics and the normalization of corruption, because corruption is a disease. Now, like any other disease, so who said now you don't stop it. Now I started and you don't manage it. Before you realize it, everything has been destroyed.
No. How do we cure that? Institutions are what the better Akroma, because at this time I hear Kasano, your office of the special prosecutor.
What
is that
it comes down to political will. In America, when NDC comes in, we all have a duty to support the president to make that happen. Asama Mekan or Tamale, that was one of the core messages that I was trying to put across. Say, Kase, we're dealing with corruption now. Man, Kase nipa balkon na obeya sadien. We must all, as individuals and as a collective, Yafa Adrian said, this is something we're going to do. And it means that regardless of who.
And then I'll show you Medina and Idia Quasso, subscribe to my YouTube channel and like it, share and comment, adding a share comment section. A better brain I can't make for any actual phone in answer at TV. And sending in a good tears and after Rollins and Semanoka, that was a massive, and Semanoka. You be a pound with you, named Jacob a pound or mere pine. And same be on Mocatcher 2016, any day, and yet pay. Intina be MPP Nibia, say Kufuor disappointed, but me disappointed. Munina or more Casas and my say, to Abano, Eddie Amayra Mahama, because Baumia I then disappointed or more big timer or more errands to say, Baumia betty me I then disappointed almost, especially Kufuor or cancer be brave on a car saying the first time in the first issue. Mama is incompetent, Nina, a woman penny, a Kufuor, and a wedding, a Kofas, and Nina by. I just say, Zinato Rollins, a bio muscle, a meal, a year, no crano, a wishing, my main phone, see, I say, in case it be an hour here. Now, I subscribe to my YouTube channel, like it, and share never or comment here, a share comment section, say they be a better bread, now I can't, I'm a tea for any other for, so I drink, I mean, it should be better. Nah. On my day. God bless you.